What is the most important thing you can be doing between now and the end of the year, between the beginning of 2021? What is the most important thing? What's the best move you can make now, right now, to ensure that 2021 is your best year yet? That's what we're going to be talking about in this week's podcast session.
Welcome to the MLMsuccess.com podcast, the show designed to return the network marketing industry to its roots of personal growth, leadership development, and wisdom of the ages success principles. We share with you real success stories from real people that we hope will inspire and encourage you personally and help you progress forward in your business and your life. We believe if you build people, people will build the business. Now here is your host, who has been called the number one mind in network marketing, the MLM prophet, network marketing virtual mentor, and a host of other names that we will not mention because this is a family show. Frankly, he's just a small town guy that figured out that the real product in network marketing is people. Dale Calvert.
Hey, this is Dale Calvert. I'd like to welcome you to this session of the MLM Success Podcast. I hope you guys have had an awesome week. Since Thanksgiving, our e-commerce stores have exploded. I mean, it has been nonstop, burning the candle at both ends, making sure we didn't get behind on the daily shipments. I mean, it's been crazy. I feel like kids all over the world will be getting the Dune Spoon sand shovels from forthebeach.com. Kids all over the world are going to be getting these Dune Spoon. They're really cool, but these Dune Spoon sand shovels, we've sold so many of those. It's unbelievable. Hallmark has killed us. It's just kicked our rear end. Every year we've been doing this for 10 years, and every year, we have everything sent to Amazon. Amazon does all the fulfillment. And this year, of course, because of Don's dad getting sick and then ultimately passing away, it just threw everything off, plus the fact that we neglected our normal activities that we do for preparation to launch APL Go back in August and September. And then, of course, her dad got sick in October. So it really threw us behind from many standpoints. And, of course, this is the year that people are ordering Hallmark ornaments like they're going out of style. It's just been nonstop shipping. Some days we've done over 100 packages in a day, and it just hasn't slowed down yet. Hopefully, I'm planning on this week it's slowing down a little bit. During this time of the year, our normal fulfillment for our 5 other e-commerce stores is very busy. This last quarter of the year is always our busiest year, but when we added Hallmark on top of it, it's just about wiped us out. So if some of you are waiting to hear back from Don or I, or why hasn't he replied to my survey that I did, just know that's where we're at. We're full bore right now as we speak. And just a heads up, the whole postal delivery system, whether we're talking about FedEx, UPS, the postal system, it's all running way behind. So don't base your Christmas shopping and mailing parameters on what you've been able to do in the past, because it's going to be a whole lot slower this year. The customer service emails have been really fun with Hallmark. They're just such happy people. It's been really cool. I've handled some of that. Those have been my responsibility some days. And of course, Don warned me to be very nice to them, and I have been. They've been joy to speak with these people and how much they just absolutely love their ornament, or had been searching for this particular collectible ornament for their grandchild. And just a great group of people, a lot different than opportunity seekers for sure. But I do have to share this with you. I thought it was pretty funny. We had one lady that was just raising Cain. She had bought a very collectible Tiny Tykes, I think is the name of it. It's a sandbox, Tiny Tykes sandbox. It's from, I don't know, a few years back. And the collectible price on it is in the $60 to $70 range. And she bought it, went on Amazon, bought it, and it says Hallmark, Tiny Tykes, collectible sandbox ornament, blah, blah, blah. I think she paid $62 for it. And we had sold probably 4 or 5 of those this year. And this lady gets it and thinks that she's actually getting the daggone sandbox. She said nobody in their right mind would pay $62 for a Christmas tree ornament. I thought I was getting the whole sandbox. And I wanted to say, well, ma'am, can you read? Do you know what a Hallmark ornament is? You weren't ordering the sandbox. But I said, hey, no, I didn't. I just said, hey, no problem. You send that back to us today. We'll get your money, refund it, and I hope you find the sandbox for your grandchild. And that was it. And she sent it back, and we've already resold it again. But it was just funny because it just reminded me again of sometimes we don't see things clearly that we think we're seeing. And as I've said and will continue to say for the rest of my career, as human beings, we see things not as they are, we see things as we are. But during this whole Hallmark experience this holiday, the one thing I have learned is how valuable Amazon FBA is to sellers like us, to not have to deal with the shipping and the selling and the customer service. Sure, they take a real chunk of our products, our profits, but if you buy right, which we do, because we just buy out full collections and buy out Hallmark stores and, with pennies on the dollar, then we're still very profitable. But the thing that I think really kind of hit home with me, and one of the things that we're going to definitely do, when we first started the business, it was, we didn't know it was going to expand into what it is today. We just figured, it's a real good return on investment, kind of a quick flip that might take a year or two. But, we found a lady that had passed away, and her husband didn't want to have anything to do with the Hallmark, and she was one of the top 3 Hallmark dealers in the United States. A lot of old collectible ornaments. And at the time, we were very familiar with eBay, and we knew we could flip them. So that's what we did. We made the investment based upon the return and based upon the fact that Dawn just loves Christmas. She's a holiday nerd, Christmas nerd. She loves it. She gets into it. So it's a good business, good side gig. And it's just gotten bigger and bigger. And when we first started, we had a little website. We had our email list so we could create customers, because Hallmark ornament collectors are Hallmark ornament collectors. So obviously in all businesses, the real value is in the database. So we had our email system set up, a little website that we wanted to really build out and expand. And after our first season, the website got hacked. We lost our email list. We lost our customer list, and it was a mess. And we recovered, but we never built back the website, and we never built back the customer list. And Dale, how stupid is that? How could you have not got that built back up? Because we've sold tens of thousands of ornaments in the last 8 years or so since all that went down. Tens of thousands of ornaments all over the world, to people that collect them, that when we bought a collection, we could just simply send out an email with a database of what we have available, and we wouldn't even have to send to Amazon if we didn't want to. And we've not monetized that business near at the level that we should, because really it's just been something that's been fun. But a wise person learns from their own mistakes, but a really wise person learns from the mistakes of others. I am not going into next year. Number one top priority is to get the website built out and the email collection database, customer collection functions reestablished. So that's one of the top projects for next year. We're going to do that. We're not going to be in this situation next year like we are this year. It's not going to happen. Again, when we bought it, I didn't know how big it was going to be or what the real potential was. It was something fun for Dawn to do, but at this point, it's obvious the potential that this business has. And again, it's not huge, but it's a good business. It's a really good business that could be sold down the road, but not without customer database and website and things like that. So that's what I've learned. And for some of you, I would ask you, how long have you been involved in network marketing? How many people do you have in your email list? We talk about 3 email lists. We talk about Eagle files. We talk about prospects that you've talked to in the past. And we talk about having a general database. How many people do you have in your email list? And I would say the same thing to you that I'm saying to myself. If you've been around this profession 5, 10, 15 years, how many times do you have to hear the money is in the list before you start yours? That's a really important question. And again, I'm not going to go and beat a dead horse because I believe I've talked about that many times. However, I will give you an article that we did over at Online Auction U. I think I shared it in the last 6 months or so, but I'll make sure we have the link in the description or in the show notes here where you can really go and read that article. Because if you're in business and if you're in a business where you're recruiting and training and teaching teams of people, then having that database of people that you've talked to in the past, that you connected with, that you really liked, but the timing was not right for them, I call those people my Eagle file. And you need to have an Eagle file, and you need to every 90 days or so go in, send a generic blanket email, let them know about a new product that your company has just introduced. They all get postcards when you go on your incentive vacations and so on and so forth. A lot of this we've talked about over the years. That's not the point of this session, but my point is I knew better. I knew more. I cannot believe that I never got our email list reestablished and our website reestablished after the hack. It was just a total, I dropped the ball situation as it relates to the Hallmark ornament business. But it's not my primary business, so I can give myself some excuses, but I don't. Still should have been done. But if network marketing is your primary business, that's where you're building your fortune, and you don't have an email list, there is no excuse. So read the article. Next thing. What else I need to share with you guys? Oh, I did want to let you know it was so cool. We had one ornament that was just going like crazy. It was a number. It was like second Christmas or something. I don't know, but we had 5 or 6 of them listed through Amazon. They sold real quick early in the season, like around before Thanksgiving. And we're selling them for $60 each. Don found a lady that was had 5 of those same exact ornaments she wanted to sell. And it said make offer. So I'll give her $5 a piece, no problem. Even if their boxes are torn up and they're not in good shape, I'm not going to lose money. And she offered her $25. The lady took it. We got the ornaments within a couple of days. Perfect condition. We listed them. We've sold all of them in the last couple of weeks, $60 each. And you say, Dale, are you telling me that she was buying them for $5 on Amazon, on eBay, and selling them for $60 on Amazon? Yes. Yeah, the book value of that ornament is around $70. But somebody just wanted to get rid of them. There's so much retail arbitrage options and ideas available in the collectible market. It is unbelievable. It's just unbelievable. That's why I've said for years, look, if you want to make a couple hundred extra bucks a month, forget network marketing. Forget network marketing. There's dozens and dozens of ways where you can create a couple hundred extra dollars a month easily on your own time without, the stress of working with people and trying to build a team. So I told you about the lady that bought the sandbox. I thought she was buying the sandbox. Oh, gracious. That was funny. We'll never forget that. Last thing I wanted to share with you is programming your mind. We're getting a lot of questions on that, several messages. Those of you that have invested in this course in the past, because we've been introducing it every year for the last 5 or 6 years in December. And if you've ever invested in that course, you have full lifetime access to the course and all the updates that we've done and the future updates. The foundation is the foundation. It's not going to change. The 15-minute a day system will never change. But what we've done over the years, and many of you know this, is new science comes out, or as the scientists at Stanford and other leading universities start figuring out and documenting in the laboratory through brain scans what Napoleon Hill was telling us back in 1934. When we find studies like that and information like that, we added that to the back end for you guys just to, further document that what the mind can conceive and belief being the key component, but what the mind can conceive and believe you can achieve, and how do you get yourself to a point of belief, which is the whole focus of the Programming Your Mind for Success course, as many of you know. So I needed to let you guys know that yes, once you invest in that course, it is a lifetime investment. It includes all updates. Some of you received the email where the price will increase drastically next year because we're taking it mainstream. I will not be doing the workshop for network marketers as I've done the last 4 or 5 years. Actually, this year's workshop is a recording of one I've done in the past, but it's going to be the last one that I send specifically to my email list because, again, we're taking it way, way, way outside of the network marketing niche and really focusing on anybody that wants to be an entrepreneur and create their own business through, Shopify stores, flipping websites, domains, running a personal ad agency or whatever. I mean, there's a lot of different niches. And the one thing that all of us that have been in the teaching space for any time at all start to understand is it doesn't matter how great the opportunity is if a person doesn't have the belief that they can achieve, then they never will. They can have the greatest opportunity handed right in their palm of their hand. But if they don't believe they deserve it for whatever reason, if they don't believe they have the skills or abilities, then until we can help them develop belief in themselves and eliminate the self-limiting beliefs that many people walk around with and don't even realize it, until that slate is wiped clean and reprogrammed with the right mindsets, doesn't matter what the opportunity is. It doesn't. So that's why I've said many times, this is the most important course that I've ever done or will ever do. It is. And it's the one thing that I hope my grandkids will latch on to. But I've got to get it outside of the network marketing profession. I mean, every time I speak at different events, and prior to COVID, I was accepting up to two outside events a month. Most were for network marketing organizations, but I spoke, Atlanta's a pretty good market for conventions, and spoke with homeschool kids and realtors, real estate investors, insurance agents, different churches, different entrepreneur groups. And every time I did, it was taking a section of the workshop that is free online right now for you guys to take a look at it, programmingyourmindforsuccess.com. So you take a 2-hour training and you try to break it down into 30, 45 minutes. And then we would sell Programming Your Mind, like gangbusters, that whole course. And, we've sold it as much as $2,500 for the course, over the last 5 years at different events. So, obviously with COVID, things are going to be changing. Not many live events scheduled for, the coming year or two. And it's given me a chance to say, you know what? I really have always wanted to take this and focus online and get outside of the network marketing niche. And this is a great opportunity to do it. So that's what I'm going to do. So, if you've not gone through that course, go through the workshop, programmingyourmind.com. It's up right now till, I don't even know how long we're going to keep it up, but it will not be up the first of the year. I can tell you that. And if you've invested in the course after you've seen the workshop, you do have lifetime access to the course and all future updates. Okay, I got to do a drawing. I've got 5, 6, 7 people's names here. Dawn's made me this little cup where I can reach in here. Somebody's going to win an MLM Success podcast t-shirt. I know we have Cindy and up in Washington, and who else was in here? Viola in Australia was in, and Maryland and Canada. So I'm going to reach in and pull out the winner. I should have a video. Should be showing this live. But anyway, the winner, last week or the week before, we said, please go over to MLMhelp.com and do a search and read the article we talked about. Lifelong learners are critical to your team's success. Lifelong learners are critical to your team's success. Leave a comment, thoughts, questions over there. And several of you did. We said we're going to choose one random winner. We've chosen it. And the random winner of the MLMsuccess.com podcast from Canada, Marilyn Cox. So Marilyn, you're the winner. Just send us a email at MLMsuccesspodcast@gmail.com. Let us know your t-shirt size, and we'll get that sent out to you just as soon as possible. I got to get better in general at incentivizing people to do what they should be doing already. And I've had several conversations with people that I respect that say, Dale, you got to incentivize people. You got to push them to where they need to go for their own best interest. And I guess for me, it's always been, look, when I was listening to Jim Burke or anybody that I respected, and they said, this is an article that you need to read, they didn't have to tell me twice. And then I realized, Dale, but you're not normal. You're not normal. And I realized, every time people get on different events and conference calls and webinars and Zooms and whatever, people are always trying to send them somewhere to look at something that may or may not be in their best interest. And I would never do that. So I got to get better at just doing what I can to incentivize you guys to say, hey, this article, if you will read it and then you'll comment about what you read, it's going to help you internalize it that much better. And so I got to get better. I got to step my game up in every way, and we are in 2021. But let's get into really what I want to talk about. I'm not going to take much longer, but it's, what's your specific game plan for your launch 2021? And I've talked to a lot of people in different companies. And I'm hearing, Dale, January 2nd, this is where we're getting ready to relaunch in January 2nd. Dale, we're going to relaunch January 4th. We'll be back in town January 4th, and we're going to start our relaunch. A lot of excitement about hitting the ground running in 2021 from a lot of people. And my only thing, is it talk? Or is there substance behind it? Because a lot of people talk the talk, but very few people, when it gets down to it, can walk the walk. That's why you go to a gym, January 2nd, 3rd in the past, prior to COVID, of course, you go to a gymnasium, you couldn't even hardly get in the gym January 3rd. But by March, it looks like a desert. It's just the same predictable patterns over and over and over. And Jim Rohn, I think, said, character is doing what you said you would do even after the feeling in which you said it in has diminished. Character is doing what you said you would do even after the feeling you said it, the emotion you had when you said it, has diminished. So how does that happen? Because it's just a natural progression, but you have to learn to fire yourself back up. You have to learn to get refocused. You have to learn to understand that your personal results mean nothing. The opportunity that you have, that you're taking to the marketplace, stands on its own. You know, most people make emotional decisions about the companies they join, and then they attempt to try to find facts to justify their emotional decisions. That's why if you can look at the facts and make your decision based upon facts, then the emotions will always, the ability to create the emotion will always be there, because the facts will always be there. But when you get involved in flim-flam companies with products and services that make no sense, and you get involved in the wrong company at the wrong time, and then you try to justify, and you spend a lot of time trying to justify, and you can never really create the pure, raw excitement, motivation, momentum that is required to truly fulfill your upside potential. So you got to answer that for yourself. I don't know where you are, but I would ask you, what's your game plan for 2021? Because I can tell you 2021 is going to be a whole lot like 2020. The only thing that's really ever going to change it is the people you hang around, the books you read, the podcast and other training programs you listen to. And it's not really the podcast or the people or the events. It's really what you tell yourself when you listen to the podcast or reading the books or attending the events. And that all comes back to mindsets, which again, if you don't get mindsets right, nothing else really matters. And again, guys, that's why you got to get to programmingyourmind.com and go through that workshop. So what did Einstein say? Einstein said, ignorance at its highest level is to continue to do what you've always done the way you've always done it and expecting different results. So what are you going to do different in 2021? And what are you doing right now to prepare yourself for that run in 2021? So I'll ask people, you know, they'll say, Dale, I'm fired up. We're going to do this. I'm so excited about next year. And I'll say, well, what's your game plan? What are you going to do? And it's almost like that many times. It's like silence. No, they're just telling themselves rah, 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 but they have no game plan, no thought about what they're going to do. What did Jim Rohn say? Anybody can get excited about lifting 300 pounds until they get to the gym. You have to have some type of substance, some type of game plan behind your glorious vision of how great things are going to be, because it's not always easy. And you're going to have to persist, and there's going to be times when you don't feel like doing it. But if your vision for why you're doing it is not strong enough, you will never get through the rough patches. It's not going to happen. Your vision, your desire to get where you want to go is what's going to propel you. I every morning, part of my morning routine, I speak in Lexington, Kentucky for a crowd of 10,000 people that are on my team. I visualize it. I see it. It's part of my routine. It's what keeps me moving forward every single day, doing what I do with all the energy that I can possibly put behind it, even though we do have 1,000 excuses where no, this, golly, we got 111 ornaments we got to find and ship out to blah, blah, blah. No. People make excuses, never progress. Can't make excuses. You're either going to make excuses or you're going to make money and move forward. Einstein told us you cannot go into 2021 expecting with the same expectations and plans to do what you did in 2020. So what is the thing that you need to do? What's the one thing right now? What's the only thing that could hold you back in 2021? What's the only thing? And for some of you, it might be centered around time management, which we've talked about a lot lately. For some of you, it's just maybe has to do with belief. And there's 4 key beliefs in the company, the products, the validity of the network marketing business model, and yourself. Those are the 4 beliefs. And you have to settle them for you. It doesn't matter what my beliefs are. I have zero belief in the network marketing business model, honestly. The way it is being done in 90% of the organizations. But I have 100% belief in the network marketing business model when it's based upon PCI leadership principles, concepts, ideas, PCI leadership principles, and it's based upon helping people develop not just the right skill sets, but also the right mindsets, skill sets and mindsets, and what we have planned for 2021 as it relates to identifying and getting in front of quality prospects has never been done before, what we're getting ready to do for our team. And I'm beyond fired up about that and where that's going to go and where that's going to lead us to. So, but you have to have belief in those 4 areas: the company, the product, the validity of the network marketing business model. And it is valid as valid can be, but is it workable? Is it workable for the part-time person? And then where most people get hung up again is where we all get hung up, and that's belief in ourselves. So whatever your hang up is, whatever could possibly keep you from moving forward next year to the highest level that you possibly can, I would ask you to ask yourself, have other people overcome the challenges that you have? And obviously the answer would be yes. So if other people have done it, well, you can do it. What I love about network marketing, always always will, you don't have to be able to jump and dunk a basketball like Michael Jordan to make Michael Jordan money. It doesn't take special God-given talents or skill sets. It just takes desire, determination, good mentorship, and a willingness to go to work and work consistently. So what can you do right now at the end of the year to make sure that you enjoy your Christmas? And that's real important, guys. Enjoy it. I'm getting ready to head to Kentucky here in the next day or 2. And I am just going to chill with my parents and my grandkids, and I'm going to enjoy every single minute of that time and cherish it. So enjoy your Christmas, but at the same time, be prepared for a fast launch in January. I'm never going to ask you to do anything I haven't done or am not doing. And I normally shut down in December. Last 4 or 5 years, every December, I just shut down. We launch our Programming Your Mind for Success course sometime during December. We do that live event. We build for that. We have, people from all over the world that join that. And most of my time is spent, trying to get through yet another Hallmark ornament with Dawn, which most boring, predictable movies, same plot, every movie. Oh my gosh, they're terrible. But she loves them. She loves them. So, okay. She likes the scenery, whatever. Just we'll drink hot chocolate and get, turn the fire on and watch Hallmark ornaments or whatever she wants to do, and spend as much time with family. And that's how my Decembers usually are. This year's a little bit different. A few podcasts back, I talked about network marketing lead generation 5.0 and the concept of matching the marketing message to the recruiting funnel. And I talked about how we're doing a test right now with drop cards. And see, I know that this is the play. I know, that this is the play moving forward in this profession. And I know that there's nobody that's even thought about what I just said, but I know the power that can come from it. I see it. I feel it. And, I realized 3 weeks ago, I'm going to have to find, a couple mentors, that can help me make my vision of what needs to happen a reality. Again, I know there's nobody in the network marketing niche that's seeing this the way I am. And those that do would be thinking, well, Dale, that can't be done. Do you realize how much time, energy, effort, work it would take to be able to do that? Most people don't even have a play one, play two, and you're talking about multiple systems, multiple recruiting funnels depending upon how the lead was generated and why would you do that? And do you realize the time, energy, effort, and expense that's going to take? Blah, blah, blah. But there was a couple of network marketers that I felt like could help me with pieces of what I was wanting to do. I didn't want to have to try to explain it to them because, they're stuck in their world and what they're doing. But there was a couple people and I was willing to pay them, and I went to their call calendars. I responded to their emails and had my call set up, was ready to buy their courses, and neither one of them responded. Don said, you shouldn't have used your own name, Dale. I don't know if that's true. I don't know. I don't care, but I do know, when you say you're going to call and you don't, and then you get no explanation through email and you do not respond to an email that I sent, then what I know is I will never do business with you. It's just real simple. I'm not doing business with that. I'm not going to try to do business with that. So I knew ultimately to get, that I was going to have to go outside of the network marketing niche and find a couple of pros that really understand, their numbers, but I understand the MLM numbers are totally different. See, if you're doing high level, high cost lead acquisition and advertising, and you're selling a $1,500, $2,000, $5,000 Amazon, Shopify, or affiliate marketing course of some type, then you can make the numbers work. As long as you're in the $1,000 to $5,000 range and you're not selling physical products, it's digitally delivered, you can make the numbers work. But a lot of these guys, when I started looking at who is the best at teaching this, it's been a chore and a challenge because a lot of them, the pitch is just a lie. And I don't want to have anything to do with that. Tell people the truth or forget it. And so it's been a struggle, and I've gone through a lot, several, and thankfully I can eliminate people pretty quickly. But, I've invested nearly $20,000 in the last couple of weeks with mentors to help me move this whole network marketing lead generation 5.0 concept forward for our APO Go team in 2021 and beyond, and really take this to an entirely different level that has never been experienced in the network marketing profession. So I'm fired up about it, putting a lot of time, energy, effort, and thought into it. And so that's where I am. And again, some of you've heard me talk about with lead generation in the past. I talk about you learn it, you master it, you tweak it, and then you outsource it. You've heard me say that many times. I've done that with all of our businesses for years. But this is taking everything to an entirely different level as it relates to network marketers. And how do you make this work when, most network marketers, you ask them, what is your advertising budget? And they look at you like a deer staring in headlights. It's like, I came into this business to make money, not spend money for an autoresponder or whatever. It's maddening. It's like, are you in this to make money? Are you in this to build a business that creates long-term residual income for you for the rest of your life? If you want to make a few $100, sell hamburgers on a little shop, on a little push cart at flea markets, or sell hammers, or get you a hot dog cart or something. That's not what this is. We're talking about generating wealth, ladies and gentlemen. Again, simple minds, simple vision, lack of belief. So anyway, we're going to invest a lot of time and money in this process in 2021 so we can duplicate it with our career-minded leaders on our team. And I am very excited about the challenge. So why are you here? What do you want? What's your best move? Starting right now, today, to make your 2021 all it can be. What do you need to be doing right now? And again, it probably comes down to one of two or three categories. I mean, time management. And if it's time management, we've got a whole webinar at MLMhelp.com. It's called Time Management for Network Marketers. You can do a search at MLMhelp.com. That webinar will pop up. And it's a specific training designed to help network marketers wrap their minds around the time management aspects and requirements for working in network marketing business, because most people are part-time. And that webinar is solid and it's free over at MLM Help. If it's not time, it's usually, Dale, I don't have enough leads. I've talked about that recently. And in the website, the podcast that we did, I talked about, look, if you don't understand how to become the path to becoming a lead generation master, you don't understand that path. The webinar workshop at local MLM training, our local MLMleads.com will walk you right through that. It's a free workshop. And because you listen to this podcast, I even offered, I don't even know, we do have a course. I don't even know what it sells for. It's $347, $247. I don't know, but whatever it is, we set up a discount code just because you heard it on the podcast. It's not going to be published anywhere else. What was it? Podcast 50. Podcast, the numeral 50. At checkout, if you decide you want to invest in the course, and we'll give you $50 off just because you're a podcast listener. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm just going to tell you straight up, the workshop itself over there will give you a clear understanding of what it takes to master lead generation at a level that most people haven't even thought about. I mean, that the workshop itself should be watched, and you should take notes in your journal, because that will give you the process, the flow, the sequential process that builds the proper mindsets. Man, that's the sequential process that builds the proper mindsets. If you do not follow a sequential process, the correct mindsets cannot be developed. And then the other thing that stops most people, the thing that's going to stop most people in 2021 from making it the best year ever is fear. Different fears. Fear of what somebody else is going to think about them. Fear of this, fear of that. It's fear. And we have 4 podcast sessions devoted to crushing fear in this MLM Success podcast. 4 different ones. You can go back through the history and look, because I understand that fear is real important. You have to get through it, and you have to at least be able to get through it temporarily. And I've talked about this recently. You know, if you have nothing to lose by trying and a great deal to gain if successful, by all means try. Do it now. But ultimately, you're going to have to program your mind to get rid of that fear, because fear is built into our DNA. It's there to protect us. Fight, flight, or freeze. It's built into our DNA. So we have to recognize it, feel it, because we're supposed to feel it. We have to feel it. It's in our DNA. But as soon as we feel it, then that triggers in our minds, if you have nothing to lose by trying and a great deal to gain if successful, by all means try, do it now, and you do it. And after you do it, you always realize it was never as bad as you thought it was going to be, that you built it up in your mind. Guys, this is a head game. This business is built between your ears. People that can take consistent action and crush their fear and just get through the numbers. I mean, guys, I remember back in the day, I would have 17 people that responded to my little thrifty nickel ad. And it's Sunday night, and I'm supposed to be doing all my follow-up calls, and I'm scared to death to follow up on the phone with these people who have actually contacted me first, responded to my ad, and I was scared to follow up with them. Learn what you're going to say. Learn exactly what you're going to say. Get your scripts down. Get in a flow and practice. And remember, perfect practice makes perfect. You're not supposed to feel comfortable following up leads when you've never done it, or you've never done it successfully. It takes skill set development, and skill sets and mindsets are congruent. They work together. You will never develop great skill sets if you have lousy mindsets. Does this make sense? Are you hearing what I'm saying? Are you hearing? So if you can focus on developing the right skill sets, the right scripts to follow, right skill sets plus right mindsets equals success. There's people that have tremendous mindsets and no skill sets. They have such great mindsets that they think they can do anything because they think they walk on water until they get beaten in the nose a couple of times. But when you can combine the right skill sets with the right mindset, you're unstoppable, 27%er. You're unstoppable. You are unstoppable. ProvenMLMscripts.com. Free download. Those of you that are part of our team, follow the scripts we give you. Don't deviate. Follow the scripts. And again, scripts change depending upon how the lead was actually generated. This is not a difficult business, but it's like if you focus on mastering what we're sharing, and the problem is people out there looking for the foo-foo dust. See, people never have liked what I say because it hurts. It hurts. It's like, oh, this guy told me I could just go over here and do YouTube videos and say, "Hey, my name is Joe Blow. My name is Joe Blow. I'm a network marketing consultant, home business coach, blah, blah, blah." And I could do my videos and then everybody was going to want to do business with me because I have my videos on YouTube and I have my blog. And my blog is, see what my blog does. My blog positions myself as a expert because I have a blog and I write my article every single day and I do my YouTube and and blah, 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 blah. And that whole mentality has business-minded people sitting back and looking at the industry like, who the heck do they think they're fooling? Who do they think they're fooling? Oh, but I'm going to attract people to my team. I'm going to be an attraction marketer. Well, here's the deal. For attraction marketing to work, you have to be attractive. And I'm not saying physically, even though physically can help, but the real question is, who are you going to attract? You're going to attract a bunch of people that like hanging out with you and watching your videos, and because they've already seen every cat video on YouTube. Who do you attract? The message you put in your marketplace determines who you attract. That's why, and I've got an article on this, and I haven't been able to bring myself to go back and have staff run the numbers again. But I did this article, and I don't know how many years ago. It's over at MLM Help about at the time, and I'm going to get these numbers wrong, but you'll get the idea. But there was like 53,000 self-proclaimed network marketing teachers, trainers, consultants, and coaches who had videos on YouTube. It was like 53,000. Of those, the majority of those accounts were dormant. And I did the original research on this, and it's like, my gosh, really sharp young people, great communicators. They put a lot of time, energy, and effort and thought into what they were sharing. Really good. Did awesome videos. They do 4 or 5. And what they were doing is they would listen to the gurus that was teaching them this crap, listening to his webinars, and then taking notes, and then going online and sharing the notes that they got from the guru. And the number of dormant accounts, people have left the profession never to return because of this illogical, unreasonable advice that they were given. It's hurt us all. It's hurt the entire industry. When good people come and leave, it's not good for any of us. So again, I could go on and on and on about all this. As you guys know, I'm not going to. I do need to let you know this is probably going to be the last podcast for this year. I might be able to get my brother-in-law on towards maybe after Christmas, maybe before Christmas. I don't know, but I want to do a interview with him. He just wrote a brand new book, that is phenomenal. I will be giving it to every high school graduate, for many years. It's good. It's called Simple Success. I'm going to get him on as soon as I can. But my plan is to have Brandon, our podcast guy, go back through the No Fluff podcast. We're going to do some of the best of sessions over the next few weeks, and we'll post them here. The first of the year, my plan is to start back with our weekly live APL Go team webinars. So podcasting and taking the time to do it, it's really a time issue for me right now. And I'm going to have to be making some decisions regarding what's going to be the best move with the MLMsuccess.com podcast. I really haven't decided yet. I've even considered, and probably the best business move would be a generic type work at home podcast that's sponsored by our APL Go business. And I may do that. I really haven't decided yet. Honestly, my motivation is just to help those that are willing to learn and to work become profitable. If a person wants to make a few $100 extra selling items on eBay, or buying domain names and flipping them, which is a great little side business, or any other business. I just love people that are getting out of the box, taking responsibility, and wanting to move forward. The problem with Amazon related businesses, whether we're talking about Kindle or we're talking about Amazon affiliate websites, or we're talking about FBA, we've done all of those, and Amazon has cut the throat of every person that's ever done it. They have. They cut the throat of the Kindle publishers who built the Kindle platform. FBA, blog publishers who were affiliates for FBA products. Last March, they cut the commissions drastically. They're just, so Amazon, I don't trust at all in any way, shape, or form. I don't think it's a great platform to try to build your future around. The same happened with eBay. I mean, eBay was phenomenal until Meg Ryan came in and messed everything up and made the sellers evil. And again, I'm not going to go through all that history, but I've been around doing this long enough to understand that no matter what business model that you find, when you're basing it upon somebody else's platforms, you're going to have challenges. That's why, to me, network marketing is the best business model in the world if all the 4 stars line up. And if the 4 stars don't line up, it's the worst business model in the world. So it's about finding the right company, right time, right team, right culture, and giving it all you've got, but never getting caught in just, this is what we're going to do because this is the way we've always done it. You have to understand the mindsets part, the human part, the mindset, the attitude, part of this business. You build people, people build the business. How those people build the business is always going to be evolving and changing. Does that make sense? But when you take a successful, driven, teachable person and you build the person first, then there's always going to be opportunity for those type of people. Always. But most people blame, suck their thumb. It's the government. It's this. It's that. It's the other thing. One of the things I've also decided to do is come January 1, I am not watching any news coverage. Right now, I've cut it back to about 30 minutes a week, but it's just so depressing. I don't need it, and I'm not listening to it. I can't. So that's one of the decisions that I've made. You know, when I first started years ago, Jerry Clark had an audio cassette, and he talked about turn off the news. He did the turn off the news challenge, and I did it. And for years, I never watched the news, never. And a few years back, you start seeing things. Why does this make sense? That doesn't make sense. And you start getting into, and you're shocked at how off tilt people have become, because people see things not as they are. They see things as they are. Based upon what? Based upon where they were raised, the authority figures in their life, the environment in which they were raised, their parents, authority figures, where they were raised. And we all start to see, once you start learning more about the mind, then when you start looking at the news in different cultures, around the United States or around the world, it's really, it all makes so much more sense, but it becomes much more disturbing. So I've got some decisions I'm going to have to make. Of course, when you're building on Facebook or any other platforms, the algorithms are going to change. They have for years. There's people that built huge followings on Facebook and a lot of money. And we called them network marketing leaders, but they were really just people that built huge followings on Facebook who bought product. That's what it was. But then when the algorithms changed, that whole thing crashed, and then they didn't know what to do. What do I do now? So again, I've always been about, having multiple ways to move your life and your business forward. And I want to continue in that vein, whether it's going to be on this podcast or another podcast, not sure yet. I do know that there's no better business in the world than a network opportunity where the 4 stars have lined up. But there's no worse business when they haven't. So, as always, guys, your feedback, comments, very important to me. Let me know your thoughts over on MLM Success Podcast, over the page over there, on Facebook, wherever. Have a blessed and meaningful Christmas. And this is Dale Calvert. I'll be talking to you soon.
If you haven't gone over to iTunes yet and rated and left this podcast a review, what are you waiting for? At Calvert Marketing Group, we want to spend our time on the projects that we know are providing the most value for our clients and customers. You leaving us a review and feedback on iTunes is something that helps us more than you realize. And more importantly, it helps others like you find us. So if you've not taken the time to rate this podcast, please go over to iTunes and do that for us now. It will only take a couple of minutes out of your busy schedule. Work harder on yourself than you do on your business, and we will be back next week with another inspiring success story, wisdom of the ages training, or answers to your questions.